the reigning Super Bowl champs, which that was last year, but they've played really well in their first 2 games. And so, if you said, hey, who are the teams that were 3-0 last year or in previous years, I bet you really couldn't remember. There's so many football games to go. We've got to have steady improvement. Very pleased with the way the guys handled it. I'm excited about the win, but I also know that, hey, we got to enjoy it, and then you got to be able to move forward. Whether we ended up winning or losing that game, you have to be able to move forward in this league. And so that's what our guys will do. I have total trust and confidence in the leadership from our team, with our players, and then our coaching staff.
That was the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams, John Gruden. No, just kidding. So when you think about it, he's right in every phase. This is just 3 games. Whether they win or lose, as I said, going into the game, it wouldn't change anything for me. I needed to see how they look, and they look like the best team in the National Football League. They just do. I mean, defensively, like I said last week, you got 99 and you got 5. 5 figure out where to go, who you going to cover. Great scheme, by the way, with Raheem Morris believing in Jalen Ramsey, moving him inside on certain downs and distance, having him play the left side, the right side, or just a pure shutdown corner. We saw his ability yesterday, and we've been knowing about him since Florida State Jacksonville. Then you look to what they did in terms of taking people out of the game. Gronk started to look a little older to me yesterday at times, where there was balls that he typically would catch, he didn't get to, all those sort of things. This team is the Los Angeles Rams are it'll be interesting. I mean, when I have my power ranking, who knows where they may be.
Well, I'll tell you this about the Rams. I mean, they're here to compete. So Stafford obviously throws for 343 yards, right? Those are 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. But that O-line protected him. He only got hit 4 times. And you think about, we talked about in the show many times, names like Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, the kind of intensity that they bring. I know some people are kind of questioning the Bucs defense and can they sustain that type of energy. But that, Keyshawn, that being you, but that O-line did a hell of a job protecting Matthew Stafford.
Some people. You mean Keyshawn?
Keyshawn, yes.
There are 2 things that 2 thoughts I have about that. One is about the game. McVay looked at Goff and said, I need more. Pushed his chips to the middle of the table, brings in Stafford. It's kind of like Shanahan, and these are offensive minds that, Key, I know you respect, as opposed to like just brand names, right? Like they actually have achieved some results. Shanahan is looking at Jimmy G going, I'd like some more, but Jimmy G can play. Let's bring in Trey Lance and develop him over time. McVay brought in a guy ready to win now. That's the first thing. Like they're in kind of similar situations, but one guy went for the veteran quarterback, and it looks like they're going to compete for a Super Bowl this year.
Shanahan kicked the tires on Matthew Stafford as well.
Yeah.
But in the end, the relationship with the front office in Detroit was what got them the deal. Because remember, the general manager of Detroit left the Rams. He was the Rams pro personnel college scouting guy. And then he went to be the GM of the Rams. The GM of the Lions. So that was an easy conversation to have with Les Snead. The funny thing is that Sean McVay was right all along through 3 weeks about Jared Goff. And he probably, through the next 14 weeks, probably will be right as well about Jared Goff.
Now, what, 9, 10 straight games where Goff hasn't won?
Without Sean McVay as a coach.
The other thing I was thinking watching Deshaun Jackson is, I wish I had a crystal ball. When you take a guy's career,
so funny.
When is he going to be hurt? When is he going to be healthy? Because that's the whole thing, right?
But the thing is with Jack, I was sitting here thinking when they showed the highlights earlier, I was just thinking to myself, because I know Jack from the crib, is that all they got to do with him is run him vertical. Don't try anything else with him.
Take the top off.
Because when you try other things with him, that's when he gets hurt.
Right.
Let him run a screen. Deep balls. That's it. That's all Jack.
But he can still do that.
Let Jack be the track meet. Right. That's all you need him to be.
You have him to take the lid off the defense, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. If he's open, throw it to him, which a lot of times he's going to be open.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, with Cooper Kupp, right? Like, it seems like the first 4 seasons, he was a guy that can only win from the slot position. What have they been doing different? What differently have you seen from him?
It's Sean McVay's ability to move him around. When you look at what Sean does, is his splits changes where he essentially is lining up outside, but he's in the slot. It is so when you tighten somebody's split, even though somebody's not outside of him, he's basically in the slot. So when you line him on the inside edge of numbers and you have him run a speed out, essentially that's the slot. It's just that nobody else is outside. The defenses have got to recognize his splits and things of that nature. But Cooper Kupp is ridiculous, though. Obviously, I've been watching him since his rookie season, being in LA and all. Dude is just like he's legit. Like he's legit, like one of the top receivers because he was drafted from a certain school. He gets pushed down. He's seen more of a second, third type receiver. Because,
and Robert Woods is on the team. Those guys are going to get touches.
They don't pay him like that. They don't pay him like, see, when the money tells you a lot about what they think about the particular player. Is he a $20 million receiver? In my opinion, yes. But they're never going to give him $20 million.
And I think also guys on winning teams who are winning type players, and you bring up Kupp,
I'll take him all day long.
Robert Woods too. They're not as concerned about what the numbers look like as they are about winning. I mean, everyone wants numbers, everyone wants to get paid, but those are the kind of players you want on your team. Kupp, Woods, the kind of receivers that this team has.
It fits exactly what the Rams want, right? And he's as productive as any receivers in the National Football League. But the snack, crackle, pop flash isn't there because the snack, crackle, pop flash is on 2 people or 4 people. You know the 4 people it's on?
In the present day NFL for the Rams.
Yeah.
It's on Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and who's 4?
It's the head coach.
And McVay.
That's the 4. That's where all the shine goes. The shine goes to them. So they get top billing no matter what the case may be, even though Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are 2 of the main ingredients that they couldn't cook without.
Yeah, great football players.
Couldn't cook without them dudes.
I just, watching that game too last night, we talked about how great the Rams are, but I'm sitting there saying that Bucs secondary just has major issues. I mean, Burfy Bunting has been getting just roasted the last 3 games. Look at some of these numbers, Key. So week 1, Dak Prescott, 401 yards. Week 2, Matt Ryan, 300 yards. Week 3, Matthew Stafford, 343 yards. All these guys are thrown for 2 TDs and more. It's been
so it's 350 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well,
minimum.
the Bucs defense relies on a lot of pressure, and when you can't bring that pressure and it's blocked up clean, your main situation isn't there for you. So when Todd Bowles likes to come with the heat, the pressure, play man to man back there, and you get torched by doing it, you don't get a chance to do all exotic things. So that takes your game plan away when you run up against people like Sean McVay and the Rams.
He mentioned his power rankings. Key's real rankings will be coming tomorrow. Find out where the Rams will be. He's alluded to the idea that perhaps they could be number 1. Keyshawn J. Will and Max is brought to you by, you alluded to it, in my opinion. I inferred from what you said. Straight Talk Wireless. Get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299. No contract. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Let's go from one L.